because we have proof that you're lying.
But this child has never been in my car.
To me, a 12-year-old baby is dead, and you're sitting here
never
lying
been in
through
my
the
car.
whole thing
This
about
child
where
has
you
never-
were for some reason.
The child has
Why
never
are
been
you
in my car.
lying? Why are you lying about your whereabouts?
The child has never been in my car.
Why are you lying about your whereabouts?
The child has never been in my car.
Okay, so where has she been?
I don't know where she's been.
Where did you put her?
I did not put her anywhere.
Well, then, if she is in
I've
her
never
car,
had
you
her.
must have stashed her
I've
somewhere.
I've never had her. She's never been with me.
She has. You killed her.
It's now my sad duty to report to you and confirm that we have found Naomi. We found her this afternoon. The report came into my office just a little bit after 4 p.m. today. I'm a sheriff. I'm a law enforcement officer. I don't care why. You've killed one of my citizens. That's all I'm concerned with. I leave the whys to the psychologists and the scriptwriters. Okay? We want to solve this crime and bring to justice the person that took Naomi's life.
Facing yet again another allegation of assault, the kind that no one dares to speak of. But this time, the who was even worse. A 12-year-old girl with dreams still unfolding, her life full of promise and possibility. This man was no stranger to darkness, having already served 15 years in prison for 2 similar assaults when he was only 18 years old. A past that should have marked him forever. But to those who knew him, he was just another friendly face in the crowd, his true nature concealed beneath a mask of evil anonymity.
Hello. Mr. Howard, right? Okay. I'm investigator work. Okay. We're investigating that missing girl from the apartment complex.
Came back here to get that. Made it back here maybe like something to 4, right at 4. 4-ish, maybe.
Okay. So you got back in Pensacola about 4 p.m.?
Yeah.
All right. And grabbed your raincoat, boots, and then immediately back to Brady?
Yeah, that's when I grabbed everything. I came out the door. When I came out the door and came downstairs, that's when the little girl's mom and another older lady stopped and asked me if I had seen the little girl. And I told them, no, I just came down to the apartment. And that's when she told me her daughter was missing. And I talked with them for a few minutes, and I told her I'm not being rude, but I got to go to work. And I left.
Okay. So how long would you say you were at the apartment complex when you came back over there?
It wasn't 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just long enough to grab 2 Powerades, my rain jacket, and my boots.
Okay. And then back to Bruton.
Back to Bruton.
Okay. And
In theory, Naomi's mother's search had only just begun. She approached Robert Howard, her neighbor, desperate for any hint of her daughter's whereabouts. Calm and composed, he met her gaze, lying effortlessly as he claimed he hadn't seen Naomi and was on his way to work. But in a horrifying reality, Naomi's lifeless body lay only feet away from where her mother stood, hidden in the back seat of his car. She was unknowingly face to face with the very monster who had struck again, slipping just under the radar.
I had a question. Because I've been, is my house and vehicle going to be searched? Because I've been looking, okay, that's all I'm asking. Because I haven't cleaned it. Everything is still the same.
That's what they're doing right now. So
that's what I've been waiting on. That's just like I told
not,
you today.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you're not saying it, and I know why y'all are taking precautions because of my status. And like I say, I've just been waiting on this to happen because I knew it was going to happen. So that's all I wanted to know. That's fine.
What is your background or your history or
Well,
whatever?
when I was in I got out of high school, me and a girl was messing around. She got pregnant, and her was like a minister or whatever. So it was more of I made her than it being consensual to the point of because we had been doing this the whole summer. And so I said I got I copped out because I didn't have no money to try to afford a lawyer, so I had to cop out. And I did 15 years.
How old were you?
Like 18 years old.
And how old was she? Okay. What year was that?
1998.
what was the charge?
First degree.
First degree.
Yes.
And that was in Alabama.
Yes.
Was there another charge that you had in your history?
Yeah, it was say the same thing. It was just another girl put in, but it was basically I did this same thing to this other girl.
You got her pregnant, or you just?
No, I didn't get her
okay.
pregnant. It was just we was messing around, and she said I made her. And it's the same time that this other girl said the same thing.
And
Basically, they said I did the same thing to both of them in the same night at the same time.
Notice how he downplays the gravity of his 2 prior assault charges. And as the old wisdom suggests, a single instance might be written off as mere chance. But when it happens twice, now 3 times, it weaves a pattern too deliberate to ignore. The detectives knew better. This wasn't just bad luck, it was a trail of calculated choices. With each question, they weren't seeking answers. They were confirming what they already knew.
Know anybody over in that area? Do you ever go over in that area?
We went to church over there before at
You can describe the church if you can't remember the
This
name.
is a big church. Once you
Is it
go
like
so
a
far
big
out.
metal building
Mhm.
church that
Yeah.
sits like off the road over
Mhm.
there? Okay. How often do y'all go to church there?
Whenever we, maybe once or twice a month, maybe.
When was the last time you went? Just
This
curious.
Past Sunday.
Okay. Today's Wednesday? So this past Sunday you were at church there?
Mhm.
Okay. Is that the only time you go over on that part of town? Okay.
Detectives are deliberate, crafting each question as building blocks to trap him into admission. They ask if he often visits the area where the body was found, a subtle tactic to establish his presence there. He responds, claiming he goes to church nearby, but conveniently can't recall the name of the church, even though he allegedly visited just days before. With each question, they close in, setting up the moment when he'll have no way out.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. What time did you pick Naomi up?
I never picked Naomi up. Just being honest with you.
You sure about that?
I'm positive.
Well, about the time you leave your apartment is the time she goes missing.
But the thing about that is, when I drop Lauren off, I go straight to Bruton. So how is it that I can pick her up?
The thing about that is that we already have your phone records,
Okay.
and you were at the apartments at 1:30.
And I was gone at 1:30.
Phone records show no, you were there at 1:30. That phone number that you gave me is the phone number we subpoenaed
Mhm.
for the records. You were at the apartments at 1:30. You were not in Bruton.
I was on my way to Bruton.
You were. I'm not going to
Okay.
argue with you.
I mean, you don't have to argue, but okay. If you say I was at the apartment, just please search my license. Nothing has been changed in my car since the day that the first officer flipped through it and looked through it.
I think one or two things happen. You either have a fetish or were attracted to Naomi and you got her to get in your car and things might have gotten, let's say, a little carried away.
I never got her to get in my car. She's never been in my car. That's why I've never cleaned my house. I've never cleaned my car. Because of that. So I feel like if I clean that car and y'all find it clean, oh, well, he cleaned it before we can get to it. That's why I didn't do that.
The suspect told the detective he hadn't cleaned his car or apartment because he expected the police would question him, given his status on the offender list in Alabama. He insisted he'd left everything untouched to preserve the evidence. But as he spoke, his voice cracked, revealing the strain beneath his words. The excuse was absurd, bordering on laughable. Who leaves their space intentionally dirty to preserve evidence? It was clear that he was running out of stories that made any sense.
When did you get out of prison?
December 2013.
And that's when you got the job.
Got the job at Fred like March 2014.
So which is it? Did you pick her up and have...
I did not pick her up. I did not have anything to do with that child whatsoever.
Did she come get in your car that day?
She didn't get in anything that I own. Like I said, we've never been in spitting distance of each other at all. At all. She's never been in my car. She's never been in the same room with me. Like I said, we haven't been close at all, period.
Detectives are tightening the net, inch by inch, armed with a detail they've yet to reveal. The silver Nissan Altima, just like Howard's, was on video near the scene. In the cramped interrogation room, the intensity is almost palpable as they hold this information close, watching him squirm. Each question brings them closer to his breaking point.
You weren't over around Detroit and Ashland on June 1st around 2:30 in the morning?
No, sir, I wasn't.
And what time do you say you got home?
It was around 2:30.
Well, we have your car on video over there.
Well, you say you do, but I'm telling you, you don't.
We have your car on video. We have your phone records that show your exact route from where you were at, from the apartments to Bruton, back down to where she was found, back to Johnson. And they show exactly which route you went. You can't deny it. It's your phone number. It's your phone number and your phone records. You could keep denying it, or you could tell me what really happened and give your story of what happened. She's a cute girl. She looks a little older. Maybe you guys had something and...
how can we have something? I've never been around the child.
How do you explain, though? How do you explain that your phone is showing that you're going in those directions? How do you explain that?
If you say you got my car on video and you say this is showing all of this, let me see it. Because there's no way that... None of that.
I don't see it.
There's no way.
All right, I'll show you.
What's that?
A Nissan Altima.
Okay, and what is that supposed to mean?
That's your car.
How's it? Okay, so how are you just going to tell me that's my car? Out of...
It's your car. Because your phone puts you in that exact spot that that car is at the exact time that that car is on that video.
If you say so.
We don't say so. I mean, that's what
It's
the
all the-
evidence says.
That is not my car. That's not my car. That child has never been in my car. I've never had that child in my car. Like I said, me and that child has never been in spitting distance of each other. Never.
So you are a cold-blooded murderer.
Because
you're sitting here deny, you don't care, you just put it like
Hold
you
on.
just deny everything and lie because we have proof that you're lying.
But this child has never been in my
to
car.
me, a 12-year-old baby is dead, and you're sitting
child
here
has never
lying
been
through
in my
the
car.
whole thing
This
about
child
where
has
you
never-
were for some reason.
The child has
Why
never
are
been
you
in my
lying?
car. The
Why are
child-
you lying about
Okay,
your whereabouts?
The child has never been in my car.
Why are you lying about your whereabouts?
The child has never been in my car.
Okay, so where has she been?
I don't know
Where
where
did
she's
you
been.
put her?
I did not put her anywhere.
Well, then, if she is in
I've
her
never
car,
had
you
her.
must have stashed her
I've never
somewhere.
I've never had her. She's never been with me.
She has. You killed her.
No, I did not.
You killed her.
I can't argue with what you think or how you feel about it. I can just.
She just turned 12. She's 11 years old.
I did not touch that child.
You-
I did not
you're
have
right.
that child. All right.
Did she come on to you and
I did not.
things went
nothing,
a little too far?
Nothing. Like I said, I've never been with the child.
Throughout the interrogation, the suspect repeatedly refers to the victim as that child, a cold phrase that distances him from his actions and reduces her to an impersonal figure. By avoiding her name, he tries to detach himself from the crime, attempting to erase the humanity of his victim. But the detectives are backing him into a corner. They have cell phone coordinates placing him at the scene, precise timestamps, and surveillance footage from nearby businesses showing his car in the area, and even stopping on the bridge to do the unthinkable, leaving behind a haunting testament to his chilling disregard for life.
I didn't do it.
So you didn't kill Naomi?
No, I did not.
Did you have sex with her?
No, I did not.
Why do you think somebody would do that to a
I
12-year-old?
have no idea. I have a 1-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Was she scared?
I don't know what she was. I didn't have her.
Did she cry?
I didn't have
Did she try to fight? I heard she was a fighter.
her. I never had her, so I don't know. You asking me things that
Did
I
you have a chance to fight?
I don't know. I have no idea. You asking me things that I don't know nothing about. She wasn't with me. I didn't have her, so I don't know what she could have did, fought, you know, cry,
Did she
or
cry
whatever.
for her mama?
I have no idea.
Did she beg you to stop?
I don't know what you're talking about because she was not with me. She was not with me. I did not have her. She did not go anywhere with me. I did not pick her up. None of that. I did not ask her to get in my car. She did not get in my car. None of it.
Who was she with?
I don't know. I have no idea.
After 5 grueling hours, you are about to witness Howard finally hit the breaking point. The detectives step back, and in walks the master interrogator, the one who doesn't play nice, doesn't pull punches, and has no time for games. This isn't just any interrogation anymore. He's here for the truth, and he won't stop until he gets it. From here on out, the gloves are off, the reckoning has arrived, and for Howard, there's no way out.
Tell me about the minute and a half on the bridge.
I don't know about a minute and a half.
Well, how long do you think did it take?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Honestly, I never took this child. I never took Naomi. She was never in my car. Like I say, you say you see blood or whatever. Like I said, when you have it tested, you'll find that it doesn't belong to this child. Okay?
Did you kill somebody else?
No, I didn't kill anyone.
He's the one who found the blood on your car.
I didn't kill anyone. That's what I'm saying. I didn't kill anyone.
Did you throw her over the bridge while she was still alive?
No. Listen to what I'm telling you. She was never in my car.
Did you understand when they were telling you that there's a camera here
Yes, I
on
understand
Leslie,
that.
there's one right
I
here
understand-
by
I
the
understand that.
intersection?
Okay. I
We can
understand.
see how long it takes
Okay.
cars to go by.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
see that you stopped.
Okay.
It's over
I
a
did all that.
minute.
I did all that stopping. I did all that stopping. I
Why?
did all that.
Why?
But I did not dump this body.
Was somebody else with you?
No, no one else was with me.
You were by yourself.
But I was told that something would be there.
What?
It wasn't this when I looked. I said I never picked her up, never took her anywhere. And it said something to benefit you.
From Naomi?
No.
Who's it
but
from?
It didn't have no name from nobody or to nobody. It was just on the car.
That is the absolute worst fucking story I've ever heard in my life.
Now alone with the master interrogator, Howard realized too late that this isolation was a calculated ploy, a psychological trap to break through his lies and force him face to face with the mirror of his own twisted deceit. His digital breadcrumbs had led straight back to him. They knew when he left home, how long he was gone, and when he arrived at the scene where the body was dumped. He was super confident that police wouldn't find her DNA in his car. Far too confident, actually. His selective truth-telling and calculated lies were crumbling, leaving him cornered and exposed. He was trapped, and they knew it, and so, it seemed, did he.
Your little boy's gonna grow up and learn the truth. And I'm sure your daughter's got love for you. Because you'll always be her daddy. Always. But you've taken her innocence from her. Because everybody in Bruton will always tell that story. What her daddy did. The monster that he is. You don't know where to put her. Because you don't know the area. Because you're from Bruton. And you couldn't have dumped her ass up in Bruton because they'd have known it was you. Because you knew we were going to be out there looking. And when we come across you, that you're the sex offender from Bruton. And you would have been the first person that we would look for. So you had to bring her back. She had to be dumped in Pensacola.
If you are enjoying this content, consider donating to the channel by using the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description box. Thank you, and now back to our story. Brace yourselves. The mask has slipped. Stripped of every pretense and cornered by the weight of undeniable evidence, Robert Howard finally confessed, but not without a chilling twist. His words exposed a grotesque tapestry of deceit, betrayal, and violence. while his concern remained disturbingly fixed on himself and his 1-year-old child. Even as his horrors came to light, he sought to justify the unspeakable, blaming the victim. The room fell silent, bearing witness to a man's crumbling facade, revealing the dark truth beneath. A reckoning as raw, sinister, and inescapable as the nightmare he alone had crafted.
What could have gone so bad for you to do this to this girl?
Did they find the candy in her mouth?
Yes.
They found candy in her mouth.
Yes. What was it?
It was candy.
What kind of candy?
I have no idea. I just know she was eating candy.
Okay.
You know.
When she came out of the house?
She was eating it when she approached me. She was eating.
Were you outside when they were walking the dog? No. You just happened to see her coming back outside?
It was already outside.
You were? Where were you at?
And it just came down the steps.
Okay. Did she come out the door?
She then came out. She spoke. Spoke back. She was like, "Well, where's Lawrence?" I said, "Lawrence at work." She said, "Can I come in with you?" And I told her no. And she couldn't come in. She kept on. I let her come over. I let her come over. I kept telling her no. She walked over to the steps as I was going up the steps. And she said, "I'm coming anyway." I said, "Like, no." The further I went up, the further she came up. When I make it to the door, she's at the top of the steps, and I tell her to go back home. Go home. Go home. She stands there, and she's like, "Why can't I come in? Why can't I come?" I said, "Because you can't. You don't need to be over here. Leave." So I don't go back to the house. I don't even go back in the apartment. I go some other steps. And I'm trying to wait on her just to leave because I don't want no problems about her being around the door.
Right.
So when I go get up, I go throw some in the garbage. She comes right over to the garbage can where I am. I really didn't mean for things to go the way that they did. I didn't try to hurt the child, but before I realized I had choked her out.
How? Just around the neck?
Around the neck. I choked her out around the neck. And I said I didn't really mean for it to happen. I didn't mean to do it.
Right.
I didn't wrap her in anything.
Okay.
Um,
Where'd you put her?
She's in the car,
Where at?
in the back seat.
In the back seat. So you grab her, carry her downstairs, and put her in the back seat?
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know what to do. I felt if I tried to take her to the hospital, you know, it would say that I, you know, that I was. This is what I was afraid of. If I took her to the hospital, I would end up here.
Right.
Because a sex offender had to, you know, try to get rid of the body.
Okay.
So
you leave the house. Where do you go?
Bruton.
Okay.
I ride to Bruton, not having any intention on leaving. I'm really trying to figure out what I need to do.
Right.
I ride and try to figure out what I need to do. You know.
But you know that you got to go to work, right?
Yeah. I go to Bruton. I don't know what I need to do. I'm scared because I've never physically hurt anybody to the point of I ride to Bruton just trying to figure out what I need to do, what I need to do. So I went to the house. You know, I walked in the house and I sat on my bed for a minute.
Did you bring her inside?
No, I didn't.
Left her in the car?
I left her in the car. So I was like, well, go back to Pensacola. You know, which I did have to get my rain gear and my boots and stuff because I didn't have none of that. But when that happened, I just, as fast as I could.
Okay.
I just
So you
really
get in
didn't
the
know what
car.
to do. So I get in the car and I come
You
back
go
to
back to
Pensacola.
Pensacola.
I come back to Pensacola. I come on back to the house, come back to the apartment. I go in the apartment, and the whole time I'm still trying to figure out what to do with this body. I go upstairs and I get my stuff together, and I come back. When I come back down, I see the ladies walking, so I throw my raincoat in the car, in the back seat, From my boots in the back on the floor.
Who'd you see walking?
Naomi's mom and another.
What were they doing?
Naomi's mom was on the phone. The other lady was just walking with her, and the lady, she stopped me and asked me and said, "Have you seen a little girl?" And when she asked me that, my heart just sank.
Because you knew they were.
I already
looking
knew they
for
were
her.
looking for her.
And she's in your back seat.
She's back there in my backseat dead. And I'm like, well, I mean, I can't tell them that she's in my backseat dead. I mean, I said, "No, ma'am, I haven't." And Naomi's mom was like, "Well, it's my little girl, so you know my little girl." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And she was like, at that point, she was like, "I don't know what time she went missing." She like, her brother doesn't even know. So he was standing out there with her. He was like, he don't even know when she left. And I'm trying to get away as fast as I can because I don't need them to walk into my car.
Right. So you get in your car.
I get in my car. I come to work.
Okay.
I come to work.
Did you tell anybody at work?
No.
Alright, so you get off work, jump in the car, head back to Pensacola.
Pensacola. I'm already Pensacola. I'm thinking, I got to find something to do with this body. I can't leave it here. It's going to smell and somebody's going to find it. When I finally just decided, okay, I got to dump it somewhere. I just got to dump it. I guess that's whatever street that is. I went down, and I went all the way down, just trying to find somewhere to try to dump this body. But I'm scared to get out. I'm scared to stop. I'm scared of being seen. So I really don't know what to do. I ride all the way back around, to the curb where it gets to the interstate, and dump it in the water.
You throw it over the rail or around the side?
Over the rail.
Do it over the rail. Okay. She hit the water and then you jump back in the car. And
She hit the water. I got in the car and left. Went back to the apartment. I sat there and
so when you brought her outside, you carried her. You didn't have to drag her or anything.
no, I didn't have to drag her.
Okay. So you work with duct tape at all at work or anything like that? Did you put a bag around her head or anything like
Didn't
that?
put anything around her head.
Okay, because she's got duct tape stuck to her hair.
Stand up for me, man.
Robert Howard ultimately admitted to taking Naomi's life, but refused to take any accountability for violating her. Of course, that would make him a 3-time monster, likely receiving the death penalty when coupled with the murder. But court records show there was male DNA in her body, but unfortunately, it was deemed indeterminate, likely due to her body being in the water for days. The true horror of what happened remains clouded in mystery. The tragic story of a bright 12-year-old girl crossing paths with a monster leaves us with more questions than answers. Share your thoughts on the man who took this grim tale to the depths of his confinement, leaving the rest of us to piece together the shards of a tragedy too twisted to comprehend. Robert Howard later recanted his admission of guilt, claiming his confession was coerced under duress. Choosing to take his chances in court, Howard faced a jury trial, which ultimately found him guilty of premeditated first-degree murder. This verdict sealed his fate, ensuring a life behind bars without the possibility of parole. And as always, thanks for tuning in to Southern Confidential. And until next time, stay safe, true crime enthusiasts. Thank you for being part of our journey as we uncover the truth behind the dark and twisted tales.